Welcome to the Duquesne University Coaches Show, presented by UPMC, the official healthcare provider of the Duquesne Dukes, and Mike's Beer Bar. Meet me at Mike's. It's time for the Sherwin-Williams Painting the Picture to Victory segment. Sherwin-Williams is the official paint provider of Duquesne Athletics. Duquesne kept the tradition alive last week, winning its 18th straight home opener with a 55-14 victory over Lincoln. Tyler Rydell named NEC Prime Performer of the Week. He threw 5 first-half touchdown passes as the Dukes racked up 484 total yards. Scoring came from everywhere. 7 different Dukes found the end zone. Joey Isabella had 2 receiving touchdowns. Ryan Petrus scored on both his first career catch and first career carry. Deshaun Hopkins notched his first rushing touchdown. Daniel Tarabrilla caught his first career score. And B.J. Alexander opened the scoring for the second straight game. Sean Solomon Jr. added a 24-yard touchdown run in the first half. Now the challenge ramps up as the Dukes host 10th-ranked Lehigh. The Mountain Hawks come in unbeaten with wins over number 25 Richmond and a 28-10 victory last week versus Sacred Heart. It's only the second time a ranked FCS opponent has visited Rooney Field. The Dukes will lean on their strong home history, 11 straight non-conference wins and 51-12 all-time at Rooney Field in non-conference play. Duquesne has 2 wins all-time against ranked FCS opponents, including a 28-25 road victory last season against number 21 Youngstown State. That was the Sherwin-Williams Paint the Picture to Victory segment. Sherwin-Williams, the official paint provider of Duquesne Athletics.
I was diagnosed with a very rare form of cancer and told you should seek end-of-life care. I went to UPMC, and so the very first time, I didn't get that blank stare. He said, "This is what we do, saving lives like mine."
Welcome back to SportsNet Pittsburgh. Tim Benz, along with Jerry Schmitt, head coach of the Duquesne Dukes. It is the Duquesne University Football Coaches Show. Jerry's brought to us by Cordia, creating energy solutions. Jerry, congratulations on a victory at home to start the home slate of the season against Lincoln on Saturday. Senior Day, as we've talked about in the past, you made that adjustment to have Senior Day be early in the season for multiple reasons. It seemed to work out well again, though, in the fact that it was a nice day out. You don't have all the stakes in the line, potentially playing for a conference championship, as has been the case in years past. It seemed to work out well again for you to honor, what was it, 25 seniors that walked out there?
I think that was the number of football players, and I think it was
6 managers?
31 or 32 all told, who are really important to our program. It was great to the support staff to recognize and honor them and their parents, and same with our players, our senior players. For all the dedication and commitment they've given to Duquesne football. And it turned out to be a nice day weather-wise. And then, we responded on the field. And, as I always say, we love playing at Rooney. And we responded on the field.
It is interesting. There is a dynamic there, though, to start the season for the guys who have just transferred in that are here for 1 year, that are walking on the field before they've ever actually played on the field. And you've got a transfer class that's heavy and really contributing this year. That was sort of an interesting dynamic. Those guys are important players to your team.
It was, absolutely. We celebrate their college career, and everybody deserves to be recognized and celebrated. And so it's their first game at Rooney, and we celebrate them. But it was great to see them and their parents and get a picture with the whole group. And I put that up in the PowerPoint at times and show them the tradition that they're part of.
Findlater, Odeminem, Tyson Miguez, obviously your quarterback, Tyler Rydell, B.J. Alexander. These are just names that are popping into my head that are new guys that have played elsewhere in college football that are new to your program but not new to the game at the NCAA level. How have they woven their experience so far into your team, and how important are they going to be once you get into conference play?
Well, they're part of the supporting cast that goes together for our football team and the core that have been here for years. Your Ackermans, your Beidatsches, your Kersingers, your Epps, all those guys, have been here for years, and so they're part of that crew now. And those guys do a great job taking in the transfers and acclimating them to a way that we do it at Duquesne, and those guys have done a really good job. They've come in and acclimated themselves and got to be good teammates as well as good football players, and they're helping us overall be a good football team.
Since you brought up Brian Beidatsch, he's going to be our guest in just a little bit. How much has his game grown over time here on campus?
You know, it's crazy when he came in. He was always a hard worker, and a great young man, a great person. But you could tell from the outset he had ability, needed to put some size and strength on to play college football, and he worked really hard at it. I give him a ton of credit. And the thing that separates him, I believe, is his detail to the game, to the offensive line, and learning the smaller little extra things that can make him stand out. As it did last year, he was recognized as one of the top linemen in our conference.
As you pointed out, Phil Steele, 2024 NEC Offensive Lineman of the Year, and he started 5 games, 4 at right guard and 1 at left tackle. So he's on either side of the line. He's playing multiple positions. He's always had that reputation of being a jack of all trades. What made you think that he could become a master of playing left tackle?
Well, what I mentioned is his understanding of the game. That's huge. His athletic ability. You have to be athletic on the edge out there to protect the quarterback's backside. And his study, he studies the game. He wants to continue to get better. And so basically he was the best candidate for that position. And Coach Solnoff does a great job with position flex. As you said, Brian played a number of positions, and I think it elevated his game, but it also helps us. If need be, he could move to a position that we feel that we might need. So all those guys learn different spots and different positions. Coach takes their abilities and puts them in, to that piece that is a veteran group, and we're excited about it.
How do you think that offensive line performed in Game 2 against Lincoln when you guys won 55-14?
Well, I think they rebounded and understood that, we got to keep getting better as a group, as they've done in the past years together. They got a lot better. Protection was much better, and then we were able to run the ball consistently.
Building on that point, from both a running back and from a quarterback perspective, with more time, how did you feel Tyler Rydell did in game number 2 as a Duke? And what'd you think about your running backs with a few more creases and lanes? Did they pay off the runs, pay off the holes with runs the way that you wanted them to?
Yeah, it was good to see Tyler, be able to operate our offense with a little bit more time, and be able to utilize all of his receivers. I think we had a number of guys catch passes throughout the day. And then he was just very efficient. I asked for last week, my goal was to be as precise as possible across the whole team, and I thought he did a really good job at that. I think he was 15 of 20, and that goes with the receivers too. They got to catch balls, run the right routes, and I thought we got better in that mode. He's new, obviously, and I think every snap he takes in a game and every snap he takes in practice, he's going to continually get better and be able to work with our team.
Coming off the Pitt game, we talked a lot about B.J. Alexander and Joey Isabella. I wanted to talk about a few other pass catchers that popped at times in your game against Lincoln. One of them, Ryan Petrus, who definitely showed up and had a couple big plays. And also, I wanted to get your thoughts on Daniel Tarabrella at tight end. I know you oftentimes lean into the tight ends as blockers, extensions of the offensive line in the running game, but he was a former slot receiver in high school. I think he had a couple opportunities to A, show off his hands, and B, run after the catch, especially on that one play in the red zone.
Then he did a great job for us, and we've known that he can catch the football, and he's another one that really focuses on the details of the game, and he's a coachable kid. So I was glad to see that pay off for him, not just do all the blocking part of it. And we know he can run. Yeah, I remember watching film. They were a spread offense.
Mm-hmm.
He stood in that slot every play and ran routes. So he understands that part of the game. And, Petrus came in as a true freshman, and really his talent is there, but he's a very intelligent player. And so he learned the system quickly. He's been coming on. So Ryan got his opportunity, and I was kind of waiting for that, and he did a really good job.
Let's talk also about the defensive side of the ball. Where did you see improvements against Lincoln that might not have been as present against Pitt?
Well, I think we did a better job of containing their better players and keep them, put some stress on them. And when we put some stress on them, we were able to get some turnovers. I know we got some of those turned around with the penalties, which is something we have to clean up on both sides of the football. We have to do a better job of that. But I thought they did a really good job of containing their better players, which allowed them to play faster and more physical. And once we got into that mode, I think we were in really good shape.
The game coming up against Lehigh on Saturday. First time these two teams have ever met, two teams within the state. Very interesting matchup. They're ranked. A second time the ranked opponents come to Rooney Field. They got a win over a ranked team in Richmond early in the season. So what can you tell us about Lehigh's level of competition, level of talent that they're bringing to Pittsburgh on Saturday?
It's a great, legendary program, football program that I've followed for years. They do a great job. This current team, they have the majority of their players back from the playoff team last year, and so they're a veteran crew. They play hard. They're very smart football players. They're very disciplined. It's a great challenge. It's a great FCS football game in the city of Pittsburgh. And I know, I know Pitt's not at home, and I just think it'd be a great game for people to see, to watch the game. I'm going to enjoy watching it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will. It's a good point by you. Come watch this game. Backyard brawl's on after that. You can go anywhere you want in the city afterwards.
Like you said, it's a top 10 ranked team coming into Pittsburgh. And obviously, the Dukes have had great success in recent years too. So it's two proud programs going to go at it.
Last thing about Lehigh, I was just kind of early in the scouting process myself, looking at some of the stats and some of the notes from their previous games. But one thing they've seemed to have done pretty well is bottle up the run for opposing teams. They played against Sacred Heart last week. That's a team that you're familiar with. Yeah. So can you kind of speak to me some about what they do well, controlling the line of scrimmage on defense?
Discipline, toughness, commit a lot of guys to the box. They are not going to, if they can, not let you run the football.
And last thing, I'm not asking you to comment on the officiating. I'm merely asking you for a clarification so we can better understand what happened on the delay in the second half.
The replay official replayed the prior play where it was the Hopkins fumble. Incomplete. They ruled it a fumble. They replayed it, said it was incomplete. We're trying to buzz down. Didn't get the buzz. We played the play. And so then the replay booth said, well, you have to go back because we were buzzing you and that was not the right call. I have found out recently that they should have just let that play go.
Once the ball is snapped, you can't go back in time.
Yeah. So that was the big, miscommunication as to what was going on with that.
Will Alex Coach just be petitioning the league to get those yards back as efficient stats?
I guess he will someday, maybe.
Well, Jerry, thanks a lot for the time. Appreciate it. Best of luck against Lehigh. Like you said, it should be a great game, real fun atmosphere. I'm really looking forward to it. I have family ties in Bethlehem going back decades, so this is going to be a lot of fun for me to call this game. I know that program pretty well historically. This is going to be a blast, so I hope you guys have some fun with it too.
Absolutely.
All right, Jerry Schmitt, head coach of the Duquesne Dukes, brought to us by Cordia, creating energy solutions. As mentioned, Brian Beidatsch coming up next here on SportsNet Pittsburgh. It's the Duquesne University Football Coaches Show.
At Cordia, we approach energy from a different point of view, asking what's next instead of what now, perfecting solutions long before they are needed. Our team pushes boundaries, asks tough questions, and explores every possibility. We drive innovation so the energy you rely on today paves the way to a more sustainable tomorrow. Cordia, creating energy solutions.
The reason we do this is to change the lives of patients for the better. Pancreatic cancer has a reputation for being a tough cancer to deal with. If you can add mileage to someone's life, the ability for patients to live longer, enjoy time with their family, witness a wedding of a daughter or a son, that's really what we're aiming for.
At Duquesne, it's our joy to help you discover what you're good at and why that's good for the world. We want you to become a problem solver who thinks bigger, who is driven by compassion and empathy. Together, we will work towards achieving your goals and a greater sense of purpose. We're ready with an education that's everything you need and more than you imagined. It's time for bigger goals. Duquesne University.
Brian Beidatsch Jr. is brought to you by Summit Academy and the Academy Schools, inspiring hope through education and treatment. We are back here in the Duquesne University Football Coaches Show on SportsNet Pittsburgh, brought to you by Mike's Beer Bar on the North Shore, and of course by UPMC and UPMC Sports Medicine, the official healthcare provider of the Duquesne Dukes. Brian, thanks a lot for taking some time to join us.
Thanks for having me.
We were speaking with Jerry before about the number of different positions that you played along the offensive line, and now you're finding a home at left tackle. How much does left tackle feel like home now at this point?
Just feels like a sweet spot, honestly. But I like playing all the different positions. It's how I grew up in this program and how I earned my playing time on the field. So whatever I can do to help this team is what I want to do.
Why does it feel like home at left tackle for you?
Just the number of reps in practice, honestly. Taking hundreds and hundreds of reps each week at left tackle.
We've had this conversation here in Pittsburgh for what feels like forever now, because this has been a real talking point with the tackles that the Steelers have had. Left side, right side. You just made it sound like it was no big deal. There have been other guys that have come through, even at the NFL level, who make it sound like it's a huge deal. So from your perspective, what has allowed yourself to be able to manage both lefty, righty that easily?
It's the coaching I get from Coach Sill. Just always cross-training us in practice. So I've been used to playing the left side, playing the right side throughout my 4 years here.
What do you find the biggest nuances to be between tackle and guard? You talked about left side, right side tackle. What about tackle and guard, either side of the center from the guard position?
The biggest difference is the pass sets. Guard, you want to keep a firm pocket and stay tighter within the line of scrimmage. Tackle, you get off a little more and want to play in space a little more against these great edge rushers.
What are you learning about your new quarterback, Tyler Idell? What sort of things have you picked up on him after playing with Darius Parentes for so long?
He's a lot like Darius. He's a quiet kid, but he's a good leader in our locker room. I sit right next to him in the locker room. He's a great guy. He's really good in the pocket. He has great pocket awareness, playing 7 years of college football. He delivers a quick ball. It's nice as a tackle, and your quarterback can deliver the ball quickly, so you don't have to stay in your blocks as long. And he's just played a lot of football, so he's putting us in a lot of positions.
Now, the other half of that equation of getting the ball out quickly is how quickly and efficiently the wide receivers are running their routes. I've heard that about Joey Isabella a lot, that he's great at setting up guys and getting himself open quickly. You find that to be the case for the other wide receivers too?
100%. And this week we get back Hiram Boyd. You know, we're excited when he comes back to play, but Joey does a great job of getting open on routes and knowing his route tree and helping the other guys out.
I know that it was a real point of emphasis coming into this season for Duquesne that the offensive and defensive lines had a heck of a lot of experience. I think the number is something like 148 games played between the offensive linemen and then the defensive linemen, with all those big-time names coming back, with Kurzinger and Dunkley and Ackerman. Guys are very familiar. And then even the transfers have played a lot of football. So that's got to be a comforting notion for the second-level guys on defense and for the skill position guys on offense to know how rooted in the basics you guys are up front on both sides of the ball.
100%. I think 8 of the 9 guys that we've returned on both starting lines have been here for 3 or more years. And you don't really get that a lot in the new age of college football. And the only guy who hasn't is Ish, and he's done a great job gelling into this program.
How about the strengths of the defensive linemen that you see every day in practice?
Very good play strength. They recognize things really quickly, so it's kind of challenging for us to get to the linebackers and different things. And AJ's played offensive line, so he knows all of our calls, and he likes to jump the gun on a lot of stuff.
How about your dad? What did he teach you as a player? Because he was a player at Notre Dame in the early 2000s, is that
Early
right?
2000s. A lot of the things is the non-negotiables. Hustle everywhere. Play the game hard. Play the game that you want to play and play efficiently. And the big thing is he played for college D-line coach who's one of the best ever, and Greg Madison, when he's at Notre Dame. So he taught him a lot of the nuances of the game that I can learn on the offensive line side of the ball.
So he taught you things that he was taught. You learned it from the other way and how to defend it and protect against it, right?
100%, all the pass rush moves and little things in a run game and just keys that defensive linemen look for.
How much of that is knowing when you're being set up by a defensive lineman, anticipating when they're trying to set you up, they're showing you X to give you Y? How much of it is that?
Oh, a lot of it is just looking at body language of defenders and seeing what they're going to do pre-snap. If you have a good pre-snap picture, the post-snap makes it pretty easy.
What kind of challenge are you going to face this week against Lehigh? We talked about how good they are on their offensive side, running the football. How about you guys staying on the field and getting some run game generated? Where, like, for instance, we just talked about with Sacred Heart. You know what they're like. They had a tough time getting going. Richmond, they played. They're a ranked team. They had a hard time against their defensive line running. What can you guys do better there?
We have a lot of respect for their defensive linemen, especially their defense coordinator, Coach Nagy over there. They have a lot of defensive linemen who played a lot of football, but we have too. So we're just looking forward to the challenge of playing these guys and hopefully letting our experience show on Saturday.
The last thing, you grew up in Milwaukee, right? Milwaukee area. Did you grow up a Packers fan?
Huge Packers fan. It was a great win this week and great to see Micah Parsons come off the edge.
What do you think about Rodgers being here now?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Good player.
Did you grow up a big Rodgers fan at the time?
Pretty big. He won 4 MVPs and he won a Super Bowl when he was in Green Bay, so I have a lot of respect for what Aaron Rodgers did.
Brian, thanks a lot for the time. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you for joining us. Best of luck against Lehigh.
Thank you.
All right, again, Brian Beidatsch is brought to us by Summit Academy and the Academy Schools here in the Duquesne University Football Coaches Show. Plenty more to come here on SportsNet Pittsburgh.
Want a great entertaining area for family and friends but short on space? Now there's no reason that you can't be the party house with Leon's Billiards and More convenient space savers. Our versatile dining top pool tables and buffet top shuffleboards allow you to dine first and play after. We can fill all your entertainment needs with game tables, bars, furniture, and more. Professional installation and financing options available. Leon's Billiards and More, bringing family and friends together for over 30 years.
For all your sports watching needs and great food, meet me at Mike's. Mike's Beer Bar was voted best sports bar in Pittsburgh. 300 local beers, 80 local taps, over 500 beers, and steak on a stone. Mike's Beer Bar, next to PNC Park, Federal Street, North Shore.
Science doesn't happen in a silo. More and more, we need to have expertise from lots of different fields. And so that's one of the amazing things here at Hillman. Everyone here is committed to doing research that is going to ultimately help patients' lives. So bringing together lots of different smart minds that have a common mission is really the way that we're going to move forward.
It's time to look behind the numbers, courtesy of the accounting and consulting firm Schneider Downs. Find out how big thinking with a personal focus can help your organization. When you talk about experience, few units in the country can match Duquesne's offensive line. The Dukes returned 5 starters who each played in at least 6 games last season, led by Phil Steele's NEC Offensive Lineman of the Year, Brian Beidatsch Jr. Alongside him are graduate center Cam McLaurin and 6th-year guard Michael Falla, both all-conference picks, plus veterans Tommy Brandt and Gary Satterwhite III. Those 5 starters have combined to play nearly 150 games as Dukes, with 3 of them in the program for 5 years or more, giving Duquesne one of the most seasoned fronts in the FCS. 6 other linemen return with game experience, and the unit features 19 players in total this fall. That veteran presence showed last season when the Dukes ranked 2nd in the nation in fewest sacks allowed per game, won 5 contests without giving up a sack, and finished in the top 10 nationally in fewest tackles for loss allowed. And they picked up right where they left off in the 2025 home opener. Duquesne didn't allow a sack, gave Tyler Rydell and the Dukes quarterbacks a clean pocket to throw from to the tune of 307 yards and 5 touchdowns, while paving the way for 177 rushing yards and free scores on the ground. That was a look behind the numbers, courtesy of the accounting and consulting firm Schneider Downs. Find out how big thinking with a personal focus can help your organization. On Saturday, September 13th, the Duquesne Dukes host 10th-ranked Lehigh for the first matchup at the FCS level this season. Kickoff is at noon. The game will be broadcast on SportsNet Pittsburgh Plus and streamed live on NAC Front Row with radio coverage on Fox Sports Pittsburgh. For tickets and more game day information, visit GoDuquesne.com. This Road Ahead segment is brought to you by Dean Honda. Dean Honda, visit them on Route 51 in Pleasant Hills or at DeanHonda.com.